simple. Looking after the children can be one of the perks of becoming a grandparent. But thousands of women, according to a report over 50, are now giving up work because of the pressures of looking after their family.
Yes, the report's from the Institute for Public Policy Research. It says that women who look after their grandchildren or elderly parents should be allowed to benefit from granny leave, or indeed grandpa leave. Someone's made the point. Granddads also look after their parents and grandchildren too, but how many people could it affect? Well, 3 out of 4 grandparents look after their grandchildren some of the time.
And more than a quarter of grandparents also have living parents, the so-called sandwich generation.
But with more than a third of grandmothers working full-time, caring for both a parent and a grandchild can be tough.
So should grandparents be entitled to take parental leave instead of their adult children, allowing mum and dad to go back to work and leaving granny or grandpa more time to care for 2 generations?
Well, with us to discuss this are Richard Gregg from the Federation of Small Businesses and Pam Hayhurst, who is from Gransnet Local. So, Pam, presumably you think it's a good idea?
Certainly the idea of more flexibility and to give grandparents more options is something which we do welcome, yes. There are pros and cons on this because I've had a number of emails suggesting that there won't actually be a flood of people knocking down employees' doors saying we demand this as a right, because grandparents quite often already feel that they're pulled from pillar to post between elderly parents and care for grandchildren, and sometimes they feel a little bit taken for granted. So it's something that might enshrine that feeling is something that surprisingly quite a number of grandmothers do have concerns about.
But Richard, from a small business's point of view, with only a few employees, if an older worker turns around and says, I need time off, that could make it difficult, I suppose.
It could do. I don't think it should be a problem per se. I think that, all employers, particularly small firms, rely on the staff. And the relationship between you and your staff is actually vital. If there's only 2 of you, or 3, then the interaction between you and your staff is really, really important. And if I was going to say, one of the sort of the laws of unintended consequences is that some grandparents aren't in a position to take leave because they're actually the family breadwinner, and the fact that this may be enacted actually puts them in an embarrassing position.